Good afternoon. My name is Don Zavis. I'm a national sales trainer and sales coach. I do keynote speaking throughout the United States on revenue development topics, and I want to welcome you to today's installation of Sales Triage. Today's particular topic is how to turn a customer service conversation into a sales conversation, or how to turn everything into a sales conversation. It's based on a couple of very specific things, and I drew a simple graph here on the board that I want you to be able to draw attention to. Along this axis we have prospecting, and along this axis we have time. Now, when you first started in your business, you had no one to talk to, you had no clients. So you spent 100% of your time on prospecting. And lo and behold, if you were successful enough, you actually made a sale. So now, instead of having 100% of your time dedicated to prospecting, you now had to actually facilitate the sale, provide customer service. So ultimately what happens is your prospecting goes down. And then you finish your sale, you realize you have no one else to talk to, and now what do you have to do again? You have to prospect, which means you now have to prospect more, and lo and behold, you make another sale. And then you have to facilitate that sale, which means your prospecting goes down. And that's one of the reasons why many sales charts that I look at look like a heartbeat, right? They make a sale, right? It goes up, right? They lose, they finish the sale, it goes down because they don't have anyone in their pipeline. And ultimately what ends up happening is you reach what's called the satiation point. A satiation point is the minimum point where you prospect at in order to still stay in business. So instead of having this heartbeat up, down situation, if there was a way that you could turn all of your conversations into sales conversations, that would be a very desirable thing to have for most salespeople, and we do. So for those that are taking notes, I want you to write the words SC, an arrow, CS, an arrow, and SC. CS stands for customer service. SC stands for sales call. And imagine that every call that you make, so say for example, let's use an illustration. You're on the phone and you're talking to a client. And historically what happens is at the end of taking care of their problem, they have an issue, a problem, whatever it is, and you take care of that problem, and historically here's what you say. Thanks, Bob, I'm glad that I could be of help. I'm always there for you. If you need me, just call. And now we hang up the phone. But now what we do is we lose all those positive feelings that are generated by the fact that you were able to take care of their problems. But what if we took it one step further? What if at the end of that customer service call or that appointment, right, we took care of the problems. We said, Bob, I'm glad that we were able to help you out. You've got my home number, you've got my cell number. If you ever have a problem, feel free calling me. But Bob, I was glad that you called, because I just had something come across my desk about our new blue markers, and I'd love to bring it to your attention. Would you be okay to have that conversation now? Now, I've said that 1,000 times, and I will tell you, with the exception of many few, you know what people say? Sure, right? You've taken care of their problem. They were mentally pliable now to talk about something else. Now, I encourage all my clients that should have a weekly focus. This week, we're focusing on the blue marker. Next week, we focus on the red marker. The week after that, we focus on the green marker. Now, obviously, you'll have an application of your own, which is going to be more specific to your particular industry. But here's the interesting thing that happens. Imagine every phone call that you had, we now morph into a sales call. So when you were talking to your banker about some banking-related thing, and you say, Bob, I'm glad that we had this conversation. I'm glad that I was able to help out, right? But Bob, it occurred to me that there's some things that we're working on that might be of benefit to you. Do you have a few moments? I'd love to share them with you. Again, the last thing in the world he's going to say is no. Why? Because you've built a strong emotional bank account in the relationship where you've taken care of their problem. So what ends up happening is now where you have this heartbeat. If every one of your customer service, and you can see how the longer that you're in business, how your prospecting goes down because you get busier and busier as you make sales. What do you think would happen if every single call that you had there was a customer service call or any kind of phone call got morphed into a sales call? Do you see how this would happen? Because now, instead of prospecting going down, you're prospecting at every conversation. My name is Don Zavis. I'm a national sales trainer and sales coach. I do keynote speaking throughout the country in revenue development topics. And I really, truly appreciate you joining us for today's session. If you'd like to hear more about this, and if you are west of the Mississippi, I would encourage you to call us at our Tucson office, area code 520-903-4654. For those that are east of the Mississippi, I'd love for you to reach out to us at our Midwest office in Detroit, Area code 248-497-5869. I'm Don Zavis in Good Selling.